What's going on, y'all? It's me, Erica. Happy Halloween. It's October 31st, Thursday. Mercury retrograde starts. Turns retrograde. I'll tell you what exactly what time. 8:41 a.m. on my time, so 5:41. So Mercury is in retrograde. So what do you do during Mercury retrograde? Everybody asks every Mercury retrograde. We typically have 2 retrogrades per year of Mercury. Some other planets are like constantly in retrograde, but Mercury, because Mercury has such a strong influence on communication, anything pertaining to communication typically is compromised. Because Mercury is a planet of communication. And when we talk about communication, we mean all forms of communication: verbal, body language, nonverbal, that is body language, emails, flights, computer systems, text messages. Sometimes people start misunderstanding each other. But it's also a time where people kind of return. Things kind of come up again. Old feelings, old exes, old people, old issues that you have. And this is the time to kind of revisit those things. Also to relax, to regroup, to recharge. It's time to just relax. Don't start anything new. Don't sign any new contracts. Don't buy a new car. Don't sign a new lease. Don't accept a new job offer. Don't negotiate any job offers or anything at this time, because you want to make sure everything is clear in terms of the communication, and there's no misunderstandings and nothing is compromised. So typically Virgos and Geminis are ruled by Mercury. So a lot of the times and people who have Virgo, because Virgos are people who have Virgo placements are typically we feel it a little bit more. Like yesterday I was very, very hyper. A lot of other people were saying how hyper they were too. Some people were saying that they were very, very tired. And typically it happens. So it's just a time to relax, rejuvenate, revisit some things, recharge. And typically I like to spend the time with myself. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let the diva know you stopped by. Hit a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever it is. Just engage. If you hit a thumbs down, let me know in the comments why you hit the thumbs down. We can have a discussion. Don't hit me with a ghost thumbs down and not say what you don't agree with. But if you just don't like me because of my personality, I feel sorry for your mother. Anyway, but yeah, that's the time to do those things. I just want to make sure that everybody understands. Hold on one second. I'm doing it like this. Mercury retrograde. Yeah, it's time to, if you're in your home and it's like time to reorganize. Get everything together in your home. Come on, lady, what are you doing? I almost forgot my glasses this morning, y'all. We would have been shit out of luck. Had to call my son to bring the glasses down. What are you doing? We're not having any inconveniences today because you late for work. Shit. Are my lights on? What the fuck is wrong? All right, anyway, so that's the time when you want to do those kind of things. If you want more information on Mercury retrograde, just fucking Google it and it'll tell you everything I just told you, and probably a little bit more in depth. But I'm just giving you a quick little scrub and let you know what's up. This Mercury retrograde, I think I read it's going to last about 21 days, and it's in Scorpio season. The sun is in Scorpio. I think Venus is also in Scorpio. I think so. And Mercury is in Scorpio, and Mercury is going retrograde. So the energies that Scorpio brings, just always remember that it's going to be affected as well. So that's what it's happening with Mercury. I was listening to, I don't know if you guys I listened to this guy on YouTube. Let me find him. Infinite Waters. I don't know if you guys listen to him, but I'm subscribed to his channel. He speaks a lot about chakras. He speaks a lot about spirituality. And I looked on this morning, and in my subscriptions, it said that he was talking about the Kanye West album. We don't have anything to talk about today, so I don't know what y'all doing. I meant to put the charger in the phone. I'll put it in when we get to where we're going. We get to the stoplight. So he was talking about spirituality, and talking about Jesus King, and talking about Kanye West's album. And he said himself, he's a black man, he said himself that he believes that Kanye is a musical genius as well. And then, that's like, a lot of people, based on how they feel about his personality and his character, they kind of dismiss that part of him. And I think that's so unfortunate. I think that when, like, I would really hate to be like a genius at something, and then you not like my opinion about something, and then say that I'm no longer a genius at that thing that you used to say that I was a genius at. And it's kind of like, I don't know why I just got emotional. It's kind of hurtful to say that, to kind of dismiss somebody, their whole existence and their whole, because they have like these damaging opinions and these harmful opinions and kind of dangerous opinions about things. But to say that because you have these dangerous opinions, because you have these ideologies, that you are no longer what you used to be in terms of your ability to create beautiful music, I think it's unfair. But anyways, that's another conversation it's very subjective, and a lot of people, when it comes to Kanye West, to me, I feel like it's a real emotional reaction. I think a lot of people feel, and I don't know, I think a lot of people gave Kanye more credit than he actually needed, and I think a lot of people feel slighted by him. I don't know why, because he's always been very consistent in his messaging. I don't understand. But anyways, so this guy, and I wanted to talk about this morning, I wanted to talk about people who are on spiritual journeys, who find it hard to couple or to find a partner, whether you're gay, straight, bi, whatever. I have noticed that people who are on spiritual journeys find it difficult to find people to partner with because of their journey. And a lot of people, whether we are a collective consciousness and have a collective awareness, a lot of people are on different vibrational frequencies when it comes to their spiritual journey. So you do attract people to test you. You do attract people that are going to be in your life forever, or for the season or whatever. You do attract all of these things. But a lot of the times your spiritual journey is a solo journey. And to me, I feel like I am always on this. I don't want to say we, but I know that a lot of people, I feel like I'm always seeking. I'm always seeking knowledge. I'm always trying to learn. I'm always looking up, old texts, esoteric texts, all of those things. I'm always just looking them up and trying to understand, life and this existence and this realm. And he said something, and I guess he's going to review Jesus is King. And so far he said that some of the songs that he liked on there. I listened to the album. Man, don't shut up. We at the red light. I'm turning onto this street to come to a red light. Fucking asshole, don't honk at me. So he said something, I was listening to it, and he said something very, very interesting, and I want to know what y'all think about it. So here he is.
Day, I left the church.
Here, I'm gonna let you.
Is king. If you don't know the meaning, though, in this new album, Jesus is king. If you don't know the divers, I used to serve in the church for many years, but one day I left the church altogether and religion, because I realized that religion is for people who are afraid to go to hell.
Woo!
And spirituality is for people who've already been there.
Nigga.
Who've already been to hell deep dives.
Listen.
I had a lot of questions. That's why I left.
Yeah, I had a lot of questions. That's why I left too. A lot of people who have questions. And when he said spirituality, he said religion is for people who are afraid to go to hell, and spirituality is for people who have already been there. Baby, when he said that, I was like, what? What do y'all think about that? I thought that was a very good, little observation, or even an analogy, because I find that that's what the issue is. And I don't know. I know that you guys, the viewers out there and supporters, everybody is from all walks of life, and which I love because that offers a different perspective. And you know that a lot of you who have been a supporter for a long time know that I don't follow any organized religion. I'm more of I'm not even, I want to say spiritual person, but you hear me, say things about the universe of God. You guys get the gist of where I'm coming from, and I'm more into the earth because I know that that's where I come from. You understand what I'm saying? A manifestation of how the earth functions. So that's how I believe we are miracles walking, and we have our lives that we have are extremely beautiful. When people say I'm only human, no, that's a great thing to have. Look at us as humans and how magnificent we are and what we could do. I thought about that today when I was fucking peeing. I was like, our bodies are amazing. You are eliminating waste and water out of your body that you have taken in food. Your body holds on to the nutrients and eliminates everything that isn't necessary for your body to keep. I was like, I was just using the bathroom. I was like, this is fucking amazing. Like, I don't know. That's how I approach things. You don't have to do anything, but that's how I approach things. And, I was just thinking like, it's really hard because I don't know. I wanted to know if it's hard for you guys to actually connect to people when you are on your journey and how that is for you, because I feel that happens a lot. But like he said, the religion thing, it's never been my thing. And you know what's really crazy? In therapy, I kind of had a revelation in terms of how I deal, or how I view my mother, because my mother wasn't always a Christian, but I distinctly remember my mother on her journey. I distinctly remember going to like different churches and we almost got involved. Well, she was kind of involved in this cult where they called this man Dad, and she was partnered with this man, and not the guy named Dad, but he was kind of like the group leader or whatever. And everybody called this man Dad. And I just remember this older man. He had younger women around him, black man. And my mom was involved in that for a while. She even was dating a guy that was involved in that. And it was, it was just a weird, I just remember, and I was like, I could be like 5, 6 years old. And I remember my mom being on her journey. And I remember my mom when she found Jesus. I remember. And, oh God, why didn't you go to that one? And I remember being upset because my mother changed. She completely changed. She all of a sudden didn't know how to dance. She wasn't fun anymore. She was she became really like a Bible thumper. But then where I think it was like, that was at a very early age. I think that's when, I don't know if that's when I started to rebel, but I just remember always my mother telling me I had a rebellious spirit. You're rebellious, you're rebellious, you're rebellious, you're rebellious, you're rebellious. And I eventually identified with that word and that energy and became very rebellious. But I remember literally, and I'm just being transparent, losing respect for her. Because I was like, you found, and at a young age, this is how I rationalized it. You found a religion and it's caused you to change, but you didn't change for the good. You to me, at my young age, I'm like, my mother, I used to look at my mother when she would dance and be like, damn, because I could dance now. But I feel that's where I got it from. And my mother could my mother could dance. And I remember time after that, she didn't dance, and then she didn't know how to dance. I don't know if she was acting like she didn't know how to dance, but I was like, bitch, what the fuck? What is wrong with you? Why did you change the fun parts of yourself? And then I just remember growing up, starting to ask questions and her not being able to answer. And then realizing, oh, she is just following a religion. She's not practicing a religion. She's following it because she's not studying it. She can't answer the questions. I think I was baptized twice. I think it was I got, the second time I got baptized, I think it was 16 or 17 years old. And it was because I did it for my mother the second time. And I was already rejecting religion. I was already into astrology. I was already into runes and tarot cards. And, my mother threw away my tarot card. She threw away, I could have been a fucking I don't know what if I kept up, but she like threw all that away because it was of the devil and all this other stuff. And I remember having like a 2-finger ring that had like a snake wrapped around. It was a 2-finger silver ring, just straight silver ring, and it had a snake on it. And I used to wear it. She made me throw it away because the snake represented the devil. And it's like that kind of idiocy, and telling your kids, like, just trying to stifle my spirituality. I rebelled against her. Then when I started asking questions about the religion and she couldn't answer my questions, and also discouraged me from asking questions. I'm naturally inquisitive, and I've always questioned authority. So when you're telling me that you're following something and you're my role model, you're following something, and I'm asking you to help me understand, and I have these questions, and you can't answer the questions, and you get angry when it's almost like you're being challenged. And yeah, you're being challenged, but I would think that would cause you to actually start studying your Bible more or whatever. I just started to not respect her, and it's just been like that ever since. We don't match. And I like, you were here to just really just birth me. You're not my mom. You know what I mean? Like, it was, and then we just always just had this very weird relationship. Never get along for a spell, and then get into an argument, not speak to each other. And it was always like, I always kept going back, because other family members would be like, that's your mom. The thing, that's your mom. You only get one mother. That's just who she is. And, all of those things that you get. So it would make me feel guilty. And I would go back to talking to her. She would start she was very like, and she's very, I don't know if she's like that anymore, but she was very entitled, felt like she was very controlling and felt very entitled. And that just didn't vibe with me. We didn't vibe together. And I used to just be looking at her like, lady, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck are you? And I used to even read, when people used to tell me I look like my mom, I would get mad. Like, I don't look like her, because I didn't respect her. I don't want to look like this person. I don't want to look like this person who found religion and it completely changed who you were. And in therapy, I realized that was the moment when I lost respect for my mother, because I'm a fucking leader. I don't know if you can tell, but I fucking lead. It's a natural thing for me in any group setting. I'm the first one. I step up first. That's just who I am. And I'm a leader. So when I see somebody being a follower and then not even taking the steps to kind of educate themselves or study their religion, like, I found after a while that I knew more about the religion than she did. I knew more about the Bible than she did. I was able to, flip to a scripture and be like, because I studied it. I've studied everything, because I feel like I'm always going to be on a journey. I'm always going to be seeking. So in that seeking, I have studied Buddhism, Christianity, Islam. I'm currently studying Kabbalah. That's because I want to understand where all of these ideas come from, and you get a level of understanding. I practiced Islam for a few years. I had, it was of the influence of another person, like the boy's father. He says he's a Muslim, and he was a big influence on me starting to practice Islam. I used to wear hijab and everything and then in that was in my journey, but then in realizing that, this thing kind of stifles me in who I am. It doesn't allow me to be who I am. God bless the hijabis out there, but it just wasn't for me. And a lot of the time when I was practicing Islam, it was very performative, because I was in a space where I was trying to please somebody else who really wasn't, another person who didn't practice the religion, but just called themselves, I'm a Muslim, like my mom. I'm a Christian, but y'all not even practicing the shit. I can't even ask you questions about the shit you practice, the shit you say that you follow. You can't even answer questions. So to me, you're a follower, right? Because I feel like if you're going to practice anything, you want to practice it so that you can learn it, and then eventually you'll be able to teach or share what you've learned with somebody else. You can't share with me what you've learned, but you want me to, like I always use the analogy of food when it comes to religion. It's like they put a plate of food in front of you and they want you to eat it, and then want you to regurgitate it and want somebody else to eat it. But you can't even tell me what's in the food. You can't even tell me who fixed the food. I want to know me. I want to know who's in the kitchen. I'm not eating nothing right here. And I'm not going to eat your throw up. I'm not going to eat the food that you ate, and you're going to regurgitate it back to me and expect me to eat it, and you can't even tell me who cooked it? No. And that's just me. And so I've practiced other religions. I've practiced earth-based religions, and most of the things that I kind of gravitate to are Eastern type of religions, Buddhism, mostly, and a lot of earth-based religions. And I don't even like to call them religions, spiritual practices or whatever. And that's just what it is. And when I was listening to this guy this morning, and he said, religion is for people who are afraid of going to hell, and spirituality is for people who have already been to hell, and I was just like, wow, that's an amazing thing to say. I just thought it was, and it made me think, and it was just so happened that I really wanted to talk about this morning, the difficulties in finding, not even, I said partners, but even developing friendships with people, developing friendships with people who are not on the same type of path you are. It's hard to kind of relate. You find it difficult to relate to people. You find the things that are important to people, you don't find them important. You know what I mean? And so that was just what I really wanted to talk about this morning. I know I'm rambling, but that's just what it is. And I thought it was interesting for him to say that, and I felt like I wanted to share that with you guys. So let me know what y'all think. And that's pretty much it, what I wanted to talk about. I don't know why I just talked about all of that right now, but okay, whatever. Listen.
Things weren't adding up.
Things weren't adding up.
I would question things like, hey, what about women though?
Yeah, that was my thing with Islam. I was just like, okay, see, I'm not, somebody labeled me a feminist or a womanist. I don't like all of those things, because it becomes a part of your identity. And if as human beings, as we evolve and grow, we start to identify with different things. So when you start to identify with different things, the label that you have placed on yourself, people want that as a permanent label on you. So if you say that you're a spiritual person, and then they label you that, and then you cuss somebody out, they're going to be like, well, I thought you was a spiritual person. You know what I mean? They assign behaviors to the label. And if you outside of that label, or you outside of that characteristic or that behavior, then you're now something that's different. And people, how people act or whatever. Let me see what's going on with my scarf. It's Halloween, y'all. I just look like this. This is not my mask. Let me tell you something. What if ain't nothing wrong with me. This is just how I look. Flame Monroe. Shout out to Flame. When I tell you I love Flame Monroe, I had heard about Flame Monroe, but never really seen her and stand up and really until They Ready. And I'm so glad that Tiffany Haddish gave her a platform. Flame Monroe's story is so very interesting. But anyways, I don't know why I got on that, because what I said, anyways, I don't know how I got on that. I don't want to talk about Flame Monroe, but I love Flame Monroe. Shout out to Flame Monroe. I love Flame Monroe. What was I gonna say? What was I saying? I don't know how I got off. But anyway, so yeah, with Islam, I thought it was really weird. I'm not a feminist. I'm not a womanist. I do stand up for women. And I hold people accountable. So I don't like the label. You can call me spiritual all day. That's fine. You can call me a witch. You can call me a practitioner. You can call me a healer. You can call me whatever you want. I just identifying with like those kind of political, social labels. I'm just not with that shit, because I am a walking contradiction. One day I feel another way. Tomorrow I might feel another way. One day I'll back somebody up. The next day I'll be holding them accountable. That's just who I am. I'm very, like, I have some hardline principles, and it typically is related to children, and abuse and violence, stuff like that. But outside of that, I might be one way one day and another way another day. So that's just what it is. But with Islam, I thought it was weird that women had to pray behind men, because women they don't want women kneeling or bending or prostrating in front of men, because like all of these accommodations so that men can behave or stay in line in a certain way. But at the same time, the religion teaches you to respect your mother 3 times more than your father, and the respect for women. And it's a lot of the times it's not the religion, but the gatekeepers of the religion. So for me, I identified Islam with the person who was abusive to me, and I rejected it. I even have I just rejected everything about it. But I still think it's a very beautiful religious practice. But the gatekeepers, I find them to be very misogynistic. I find that in my journey, I found that a lot of men who have low self-esteem and want to feel like they have control over women start practicing Islam because of how it's very constraining, or looks very constraining for women. I just had those questions. I rejected it right away. I knew it was like, okay, this is not the religion for me, because I'm not about to do none of this shit. I remember being told that I couldn't eat with my left hand, because the left hand is your dirty hand. That's the hand that you wipe your ass with. And all of these things that you are saying that I want you to control your body this way. I'm left-handed. Are you telling me that Allah made me left-handed, and this is the hand that Allah is saying is my dirty hand, and so now I have to eat with this hand? That doesn't make sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense. And women who cover, those are practices that are with the time. Like the idea of following something that is 1,000 years old and trying to follow those social practices, the practice that you can't apply those practices today. We live in a different era, and when people are more traditional, I find it to be more restrictive. You cannot practice 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 5,000 year old religion and expect people to follow it the way it was originally presented. It makes absolutely no sense. We are complex human beings. We grow and evolve. Our ideas and perspectives are different. And so when people are more traditional, I find them to be a little bit more toxic, because it's like you want somebody to follow, step in line. When you walk into the house, start with your right foot. And like, that's all this. I'm like, what? Like, no, I'm free to do what the fuck I want. What are you talking about? I couldn't do it. So let me listen. Oh, let's see here.
How come it's always about believing him? What about her?
Right, and the patriarchy
that they have taken out.
The patriarchy that especially with Christianity and with motherfucking Islam, because it's all about him. It's a lot of him pronouns. What about the divine feminine? What about Mary? What about Mary Magdalene? What about that? the split between the whore and the virgin. What is that about? You know what I'm saying? Like, honey, we could talk about religion all day, but I don't like to, because I have very different views than a lot of people, and a lot of people are turned off by that, because when you start talking about religion, especially for people who consider themselves devout, or, you know, they really identify with their religion. When you start talking about religion, they take on the stance that you're trying to change them, instead of just really having a conversation to gain understanding. I don't know why my shoulders are not relaxed. She's looking in my camera. Okay, let's listen to him. Yeah, what about the woman? What What you say in Islam to respect the woman, but then you kind of make the woman more submissive. It's just weird.
The divine feminine.
Oh yeah,
in
see?
So many religions.
See? And if you notice, the older religions, when you look at the older religions and the religions that are mostly rejected by, like, you know, the three major, what they say, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, and when you look at older religions, all of their statues, all of their icons, all of their idols are women. And so with the introduction, I believe that, you know, when I played that clip yesterday of Kanye, when, like, Jesus, you're promoting white supremacy. Yeah, because if you go look at The Family on Netflix. It is a religion of patriarchy, and they use Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John as their religion, as how they follow. But the religion is really patriarchy, and that's what it is. And I believe a lot of these religions that are when you look at the man as the God, or use him pronouns and all this other stuff, you really start to believe that the man is the God. And I even told my son this morning, you wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for a woman. We came first. We are first. I don't care what nobody says. We are the principal human. We come first. Go online and do your research, but there is a tribe of women who are able to procreate with themselves. Go look it up, okay? It's a true story.
I would think to myself, how come so much blood has been shed in the name of religion, in the name of Jesus? The Crusades, deep divers. And I had a problem with that. The 16 crucified saviors. Have you read that, deep divers? What if I told you that there were 16 crucified saviors before Christ? You had Krishna in India. You had Mithras in Persia.
Y'all want to know his
you see, deep divers.
You want to know his channel? It's called Infinite Waters. Go look him up. It's a black man. I love his channel. I can only take him in small doses. He has a lot of energy. But he's really insightful, and he talks about some of the titles of his, 10 reasons. Oh no, hold on here. Let me see. He has like 7 signs from the universe. Something is coming. 11 reasons why highly awakened souls. What? Wait a minute. 11 reasons why highly awake souls have such a hard time finding love. See, that's what I wanted to talk about. I need to watch this video because that's what I wanted to talk about this morning. That's so crazy. I'm like, wait, 11 reasons why highly awake souls what? But his talk about religion, let's see.
Him, what about her? Then I realized that they have taken out the divine feminine in so many religions. Then I would think to myself, how come so much blood has been shed?
Oh, he already talked about
in the name.
So go watch this, guys. I'm here. I've pulled up. I'm gonna get ready to get inside. I don't have to change my shoes because I'm wearing tennis shoes. Today is Halloween, so I was like, I'm dressed up as myself. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful day. We had a good talk, right? I hope so. So one, do you find it difficult to find partner with people, whether it's friendship, relationship, or otherwise, family issues or situations, and also, that's all I wanted to talk about. I really want to talk about that. Maybe you guys want to do a live this weekend and we could talk about that. It was something else I wanted to talk about on a live. I can't remember. But anyways, you guys have a wonderful day. Take care of each other. Remember that Mercury is in retrograde. Go look it up so that you know how to navigate through this time. And you guys have a wonderful day. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. And keep each other honest. Peace.